Hi, my friends. Today I want to present you a new story. Enjoy watching it.
When I first woke up, I thought I was trapped in a nightmare. My mouth tasted metallic, my head felt light, almost floating. But when I sat up, hair slid off my shoulder in tufts. Brown strands that had once brushed my waist now lay scattered on my pillow like withered petals. I stumbled toward the mirror above my dresser. The sight made me grip the edge so hard my knuckles whitened. My long, carefully nurtured hair, the one thing I'd always called mine, was hacked off in rough, uneven chunks. Behind me on the dresser, the same dull kitchen scissors we used for coupons sat next to a sticky note in my mother's looping script. "You'll still look fine. Focus on Nicole's day." My throat clenched so tight I could barely swallow. Nicole's wedding, my sister, the princess, the perfect one, and me, the accessory they couldn't let outshine the main event. I walked into the kitchen in a daze. My father sat at the table, scrolling on his phone, not even pretending to care. He glanced up. "Oh good, you're up. Less hair suits you." Would have been a distraction anyway. I just stared. My mother didn't bother looking at me. She blew on her coffee, then added without flinching, "It's Nicole's big day, Alice. It's called sacrifice. You should be proud to make it for your sister. Did you slip me a powerful sleeping pill?" I whispered, my voice so small I almost hated myself for it. Dad shrugged. "Don't be dramatic. It was just to help you sleep. And look, now you won't steal the spotlight. Everyone will focus on Nicole, like they should." I couldn't move. My scalp tingled where the strands had been sliced away. I felt like they'd scalped a part of my soul, not just my hair. The thought of standing at the wedding, baldly exposed for everyone to see, their perfect plan for me, made something burn at the pit of my stomach. I turned away before they could see my eyes fill. In that moment, I knew one thing: if I stayed silent, they'd keep cutting at me until there was nothing left. But I wasn't ready to scream yet. Not yet. I'd find someone who'd help me sharpen the edges they'd tried to dull. I didn't remember how I got to my friend Olive's apartment. Remember just that the cold night air stung the tears off my face as I rang her buzzer over and over. When the door finally opened, she stood there in her oversized hoodie and bare feet, eyes wide, taking in my jagged hair, my trembling hands. "Alice, what?" She pulled me in before I could speak. The warmth of her arms nearly broke me. I collapsed onto her couch while she knelt in front of me, fingertips tracing the uneven edges at my neck. "Tell me they didn't." Her voice was low, dangerous. I couldn't meet her eyes. "They did. They sleeping pill my dinner, Olive." While I slept, my throat closed. I touched the strands that were sticking out like dead objects. Olive's jaw clenched. She stood abruptly and disappeared into her bedroom. A second later, she returned with her laptop and my phone, thrusting them onto the coffee table like weapons. "Didn't you say you used to record your parents for therapy? Like those voice memos? Do you still have them?" I blinked, confused. "Maybe. But why does it matter?" She dropped onto the floor beside me, fire blazing in her eyes. The same fire that had drawn me to her in the first place. Because if they think they can cut you down and get away with it, they're wrong. Let's find proof they've been doing this for years. I pulled out the flash drive I brought with me from home just in case and gave it to Olivia. My hands shook as I scrolled through old files, tiny time-stamped snippets I'd made to rant to myself on bad days. We listened in silence until one recording made Olive's lips curl into a razor smile. Mom's voice, "She always thinks she's the pretty one. We'll fix that." Dad's laugh. "Girls like her need reminders. She won't dare steal Nicole's day now." I covered my mouth. Olive looked at me. Not with pity, but with that fierce, electric loyalty only she could wield. "Alice, you don't get to run from this. You get to stand up and swing back. Let's burn down their script." I wanted to crawl into her arms and hide, but I saw my reflection in her eyes, and it looked like a girl who'd stopped being afraid. I don't remember breathing on the drive to the vineyard. Olive sat beside me, her hand locked with mine on the gear shift. My stomach twisted every time I imagined my mother's face when she saw me stand at that microphone. We pulled into the sprawling estate where Nicole's fairy tale rehearsal dinner was already in full swing. Paper lanterns glowing, champagne flutes clinking, white rose petals drifting like false promises. I caught my reflection in the window, my hacked hair now shaped into a sleek, sharp bob, thanks to Olive's steady hands. "You look like a storm," Olive whispered as she brushed a stray strand from my cheek. "Don't hold back." Inside, they didn't notice me at first, the prodigal daughter returning in a navy silk dress they once called too showy. I watched Nicole toss her hair and giggle under the twinkle lights, smug in the center of everyone's orbit. Mom spotted me first. Her smile froze. She nudged Dad, who glared like I'd dragged dirt across his perfect carpet. Nicole's eyes met mine, and I swear she smirked, as if my absence would have made her world flawless. When they called me up to give my sweet, Hallmark-approved toast, my hands were steady. I stepped up, feeling the weight of the tiny voice memo in my pocket. "Hi, everyone," I began. The chatter died. Forks paused midair. I know I'm not the favorite daughter. I've always been the background noise, but tonight I want to tell you what family means to me. Mom's hiss reached me. "Alice, stick to the script." I ignored her. "Family is the people who should protect you while you sleep, not sleeping pills you and hacked your hair so you can't outshine your sister." Gasps rippled. Dad slammed his napkin down. Nicole's mouth fell open. I pulled out my phone and pressed play. Mom's voice crackled. "She always thinks she's the pretty one. We'll fix that." Then Dad, "Girls like her need reminders. Cut it while she sleeps." Forks clattered. Someone let out a muffled sob. Nicole's fiancé stared at her like he'd just seen her fangs. My father's chair scraped back. "That's enough." I held his stare. "No, Dad. I'm done letting you slice pieces off me. I'm done being silent so you can shine your golden child." Olive appeared at my side, her hand in mine, steady, unashamed. I dropped the mic onto the polished floor. Its echo felt like thunder. I walked out, head high, with every eye burning into my back. For the first time, I didn't care. Let them choke on the truth. By the time Olive and I got back to her apartment, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Notifications stacked up like a wall of disbelief. Olive had uploaded the entire clip, my unscripted speech, the recording, my parents' shocked faces, and within hours it had begun to spread like a spark in dry grass. I sat cross-legged on her bed, watching my name crawl across hashtags I'd never imagined. Hashtag Uncut Truth, hashtag Toxic Family Exposed, hashtag Alice Speaks. Every comment made my heart pound louder. "Alice," Olive said gently, tapping my shoulder. "Read this one." It was a message from a girl in Michigan. "I played your video for my mom. She finally believes what my father did to me. Thank you for being brave." I covered my mouth. My voice trembled. "Do you think I made it worse? For Nicole? For all of them?" Olive shook her head, fierce. Asterisk, "You didn't make the mess, Alice. You just turned the lights on. Let them squirm in it." The next day, a wedding magazine editor called. "Your story isn't just brave, it's real. We'd love to feature you." Hair, scars, all of it. I almost laughed. My chopped hair, once my shame, was suddenly my power. When I finally checked Nicole's feed, her wedding photos once planned to be the envy of the town. The comments were a wasteland. People wrote things like, "What kind of sister lets this happen?" And the real bride was the scapegoat. 3 days later, an email popped up like a door swung wide. Cynthia Ray, CEO of one of the most exclusive fashion brands, wrote, "My niece lived through something just like you. I want you to join our campaign. Not just as a model, as our new voice for girls they tried to silence." I blinked at the screen, my hands shaking. Olive sat beside me, squeezing my knee. Asterisk, "You started a fire, Alice. Now they're asking you to light the torches for everyone else." Meanwhile, back home, the fallout spread like oil in water. The local church pulled my father off their board. Wedding guests ghosted my mother's calls. Nicole's brand new husband filed for annulment after finding out she'd been anonymously smearing me online for years. She'd been complicit all along, more than I'd ever guessed. I sat in Olive's lap, burying my face in her shoulder. "I thought exposing them would feel like revenge," I whispered. She kissed my temple. "It isn't revenge, Alice. It's freedom. And you just gave that freedom to every girl watching." Outside, the world was still spinning. But for the first time, it spun for me. 3 months later, I stood under the sign that read Life Energy Charge. My name gleamed on the glass doors of my new creative agency, right here in the same hometown where they'd once told me I'd never be more than an afterthought. Inside, the launch party buzzed with local press, old classmates who suddenly wanted internships, and young girls who mouthed thank you when they saw me. Olive caught my hand, her grin matching the warmth in my chest. Then the doors swung open. My parents. They looked smaller somehow. Mom hiding behind sunglasses, Dad's shoulders stooped. They shuffled through the crowd until they stood inches away. Mom cleared her throat. "We're proud of you, Alice." I tilted my head. "Proud? You tried to cut me down." Dad forced a brittle chuckle. "Families heal, right?" I stepped closer so they could see every edge they'd sharpened. "You want forgiveness? Go home, shave your heads completely. Then maybe I'll consider it." Their faces paled. They turned, humiliated, vanishing into the crowd that once whispered I'd never make it. I felt Olive's hand slip into mine. "Ready to speak to your people, Director Harris?" I looked around at the life they could never cut down. I smiled. "I'm ready." Some strands grow back stronger. And some girls become the blade.
Friends, what do you think of this story? Write your opinion in the comments. Would you like more stories? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss any videos. See you tomorrow.